Music by Brahms, featuring a group known as Ensemble Made in Canada, featuring Alyssa Lee on the violin, Sharon Wee on the viola, Rachel Mercer on the cello, and Angela Park on the piano. Rachel was just in town, actually, this weekend as part of a group called Octagon at the Virtuosi Concert Series. And we're here to chat all things Virtuosi for the next half an hour, 15 minutes. We'll see how far it goes. I have in the studio with me Harry Strub, who is the founder, artistic director of Virtuosi Concert Series. And good morning, Harry.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you?
It's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you. Even this early in the morning. I'm waking up, and it's exciting.
Yeah, welcome to my time of day. I guess yours is probably the evening, too, with all the concerts happening.
Exactly, yeah.
So very good. Thank you very much for coming in this morning, then. I know it's early for you. Before we get to chatting about the brand new season, which was announced this past weekend, which I heard from Chris Wolch, our music director, he was a phenomenal performance. You know, I think this is your 25th year for Virtuosi, for the Virtuosi proper itself. How did, you mentioned a little bit earlier off air that that Virtuosi had its earlier start before it was called Virtuosi. How long have you been doing this for? And also, just give me an idea of how it all started.
So we've got the 25th anniversary of Virtuosi, and it's really my 35th anniversary as a concert producer. The University of Winnipeg doesn't have any sort of a fine arts program or any sort of a music program. And so, but they always had a little thing called a music and art committee with a magnificent $2,000 budget and with that budget, we started doing dozens of lunchtime concerts all through the 1980s. And we did a few evening concerts as well to get our feet wet and in terms of how to do a production. We were getting calls from across Canada for our little lunchtime series because Canada Council would fund tours for major groups, and they needed 5 cities. And they would frequently run out of cities, so they needed Winnipeg as a 5th city, and all I had was our little lunchtime series. So we had these fantastic concerts at lunchtime for the longest time. And as I say, that was my training as an artistic director.
And how did the Virtuosi come in then? You said so it's 10 years with this lunchtime series. And what was the genesis of the actual Virtuosi series itself?
Well, there's a composer in Winnipeg that everybody knows, Jim Hiscott, and at that time he was a CBC radio producer. He was doing a lot of classical music concerts, and really what he needed was what he thought that CBC needed was to record live from Winnipeg, recitals and chamber music live from Winnipeg. And so he invited us at the University of Winnipeg to co-present a series. And initially they told me what they wanted, and then quickly they ran out of options, and I started selecting artists and programs, and that's really how I got validated as an artistic director, because CBC wanted the things that I wanted, and we started off fairly slowly. We started off, actually, in the first year, we had a concert, and there were 12 people in the audience. I counted them, and then that included me and my family, too. So we weren't exactly an instant success. It took some time to build. Yeah,
I was going to ask you about that, sort of what were some of the growing pains with the Virtuosi series. That sounds like one of them anyway.
And part of that growing pain was discovering that what anybody else would know, and I had to learn, that you don't do a concert the night before Grey Cup.
Ah, okay.
That was that concert.
That was that. Even if the Bombers aren't in it, huh?
Even.
Wow. I didn't realize that the Bomber fans and classical music fans were one and the same, but yay. I guess they are. So yeah, you're in your 25th year now, and obviously the series has grown a lot. What is it that you look for when you're putting together a season? I mean, there's so many amazing performers out there, but what is your reason for lining people up?
Well, the professional musicians that are around that have a national or an international profile are so good that it's really hard to make a mistake. But it isn't enough just to have a good reading of major works of chamber music. There has to be the artists have to give us some electricity in their performance, in their personalities on stage. We have a very small, intimate hall, and people want to get to know the artist. So we need great communicators is really what it amounts to. And I meet a lot of them at a conference in New York that I go to every year by Chamber Music America, and I meet string quartets at the Banff String Quartet Competition, and others just through CDs. Of course, now you can hear anybody and everybody on YouTube, so that frequently provides an entree for me. And I rarely have to go out searching actively, in so much as the musicians and their agents contact Virtuosi Concerts at least 2 years in advance. And so it really is a wonderful selection that's offered to me. Mm-hmm. And so the rest is being sure that the program really fits the musical program fits with the other 8 or 9 concerts that we're going to do that season. So there's a lot of juggling that goes on.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of concerts and performances, we're going to dig into that in one moment. This is actually I've got something lined up by one of the performers that's going to be here as part of the Virtuosi Concert Series in October. His name is Pavel Kolesnikov, pianist. Here is something he's done, Tchaikovsky's, and we'll talk more about the season right after this. I'm in the studio with Harry Strub, the artistic director of the Virtuosi Concert Series. More to come right after this. Is pianist Pavel Kolesnikov performing one of the Six Morceaux by Tchaikovsky, and he is the October performance at the Virtuosi Concert Series. I have in the studio with me Harry Strub, the artistic director of the Virtuosi Series. Harry, let's quickly go over some of these amazing performances. We can start with Pavel if you like.
Yes, we should start with Pavel because he's the winner of the Honens International Piano Competition, and for a good 2 decades, we've presented every single winner of the Honens competition ever since its inception. So we're sort of the international honorary patrons.
And we have a link to that. Sorry to cut you off, but Eric Friesen here is the on the board of directors. I think president now, might even
right,
the Honens competition.
And we meet Eric every 3 years at the Honens International String Quartet Competition. So here's Canada with 2 of the world's top international music competitions. And, of course, the winner of the Banff competition this year the previous year was the Dover String Quartet from the USA. And it was one of the rare occasions where I was able to predict the winner. I had CDs in advance of the competition, and they just shone well above the others. So this is somewhat of a unique project to bring the 2 winners of these 2 Alberta international competitions together on our stage. And we've been doing it for some time. The audience loves it.
Mm-hmm. How's it? You're kicking off in September with a trio, Hermitage Piano Trio. Yes,
this is a wonderful ensemble anchored by a cellist who opened our series in 2009, Sergei Antonov, who's absolutely a fabulous cellist. And he was the winner of the 13th Tchaikovsky International Music Competition. He's absolutely a great cellist. And to bring the 3 of them here, that took 2 years of planning to make it fit.
Mm-hmm. And so we've got them starting off. Then in October, we've got Pavel Kolesnikov with the Dover Quartet. And then we're taking a leap all the way over to New Zealand for the November performance.
New Zealand and Canada and the U.S. And we marry a bunch of things together on this concert. It's got the unusual name of Raven and the First Men because it's anchored by a special new piece by a Canadian composer, Timothy Corliss, called Raven and the First Men, which is a tribute to Bill Reed's sculpture in Vancouver that many people know. Everybody knows it, actually, but you don't know that you know it because the picture of the sculpture was on the back of our old $20 bill. So it has lot of recognition. And this piece, Raven and the First Men, is based on an ancient Haida legend about the first moment in history when an enormous raven opened up a clamshell and found little men hiding inside, the first human beings. So to bring together the New Zealand string quartet, all the way from New Zealand, and then a Ukrainian-American clarinetist, Igor Begelman, who's won all sorts of competitions and gets rave reviews, and then to make it all Canadian. Oh, I forgot one more thing. That piece is with film. So we'll have them. We'll have the film on while they're playing. The film will be showing the Raven and the First Men.
Wow, sounds like an amazing show. And then you followed it up with not only Canadian next, but featuring Winnipeg artists in December 5th and December 6th. Artists of Manitoba, featuring some great performances by some of our own WSO.
Our own WSO and Alexander Tselyakov from Brandon University, who's done many recitals with us. But we're especially proud of this concert because we claim to be an international recital and chamber music series. And we love the idea of embedding our top talent, worthy top talent, right in the middle of Virtuosi concerts. And the audience loves it. They love to pay tribute to our own artists and to enjoy and be surprised by the level of excellence that we have right in Manitoba.
Amazing. And then we followed it up with Michael Kim, who's back again. He seems to be a favorite of either yours or of the audience. I'm not sure, but he's appeared quite a few times. Huh? Michael Kim, the pianist. Huh?
He was on last year in a special concert he designed for us, but the previous year he collaborated with us on bringing the Fine Arts Quartet. This is one of the gold-plated string quartets in the world, the Fine Arts Quartet, one of the gold-plated names in chamber music. They've recorded and toured internationally for over half a century, not with all four original members, but two of the members have been together for 30 of those years, and they've got at least 50 CDs out. So Michael Kim knew them in Wisconsin before he came to Manitoba, and so he helped us arrange this tour because I've tried to get them for 10 years, and it was with Michael Kim's help that we brought them together. In any event, the concert was such a smash 2 years ago with the Schumann's piano quintet that we immediately invited them back to do the Dvorak piano quintet. So we're really looking forward to that concert.
Yeah, it's an amazing season. I'm in the studio with Harry Strub, who's the artistic director of the Virtuosi Concert Series. They've just announced they haven't quite finished their 2014-2015 season, but they're getting people excited about the brand new season, 2015-2016, which kicks off in September. And, there's other, we could probably chat for a couple hours about all the performances. Ensemble Made in Canada, who I just played earlier, composed of four great Canadian performers, violin, viola, cello, and piano. They're coming as well. We have the Ariel Quartet coming from, they originally started in the Jerusalem Academy of Music. We have Trio con Brio Copenhagen. And tell me, I want to talk about, just before we wrap up, we've only got time for a little bit more, two pianists that are featured in the 25th year, Andre Laplante, and then the very special concert at the end. Let's talk about Andre Laplante first.
Andre was with us in a chamber ensemble quite a number of years ago, and it's taken this long to bring him back for his essentially recital debut on Virtuosi Concerts. We just simply haven't been able to arrange that recital, so we're really proud that we could fit it in the 25th season. And it'll be a lot of Chopin, but I asked for some Bach, and he's got some Bach. Not known for Bach, not especially known for Mozart, but when you hear it, you'll know what a fantastic and broad and deep virtuoso he is. And
then wrapping up with the poet of the piano, Angela Chang, who
we've known for almost 30 years, who presented many concerts with us in chamber versions as well as recitals. And that's our special wrap-up celebration for the 25th season in June. 2016, and that'll be at the Winnipeg Art Gallery with a big reception, lots of bubbly, so we can really celebrate a spectacular season.
Well, you can go to virtuosi.mb.ca for all the information we did, and we just touched upon this season. We could, as I said, we could chat about for a long time. Tickets are amazing. I think it's $289 if you get the early bird special before May 1st. $289 for all the concerts. Like you can't beat it. I think it's 9 concerts you get with that for $289. Again, go to virtuosi.mb.ca. Harry, thank you for coming in this morning and
Thank
chatting.
you so much,
and,
Michael.
As the season gets underway and wraps up this, I'm sure we'll be chatting more.
That's great.
So I'm going to
Thank
wrap
you.
up with Angela Chang, who's going to be the, I guess, one of the centerpieces of the season. Here's Angela Chang with some music of Shostakovich.